What is crypto has to do with real estate? But if you listen to my video until the end, you will realize what is the connection between crypto and real estate. It's all intertwined. Second reason you should listen is because if you are an investor, then you should understand what are the interesting things happening in different asset classes, and these asset classes impact each other and eventually have consequences in almost all asset classes. So that is why you should listen to this video. My name is Vaibhav Puranik, and today I'm going to talk about crypto. Now you might ask me, what is crypto has to do with real estate? But if you listen to my video until the end, you will realize what is the connection between crypto and real estate. It's all intertwined. Second reason you should listen is because if you are an investor, then you should understand what are the interesting things happening in different asset classes, and these asset classes impact each other and eventually have consequences in almost all asset classes. So that is why you should listen to this video. So there is 4 interesting things that Trump administration did last year that's going to have long-term consequences. Okay, so let's understand. First, let's understand what did they do. Secondly, let's understand what is that going to cause, right? And what are those long-term consequences? Okay, so let's go to the first one. First important thing they did in last year, which is 2025, is they issued regulations for stable coins. What that is if all these stable coins operator like PyUSD, right? If they follow those regulations, then their stable coin will be considered legit, and their stable coin can be used for transactions within the United States, right? This is very, very important, because that means now all these stable coins will become legit if they follow the regulations, right? And stable coins will become a legitimate transaction currency. Second is they said that you're now allowed to invest money from your IRA and your 401k into alternative assets. Now, which are those alternative assets? Like real estate, private equity, and crypto. Until now, your 401k money was sacrosanct. It was not allowed to be invested in risky assets, right? But what they have done now is they have removed that limitation. There was a guideline that was issued earlier saying in earlier administration or previous things saying that oh, crypto is too risky, so 401k money should not be invested in there, right? They have withdrawn that guideline, and instead now they're saying that you can invest your 401k or IRA money in crypto assets going forward. Now it hasn't happened yet, right? What's going to do is in a year or two, you will start seeing these kind of options in your 401k or IRA. So you'll probably see a fund that invests in Bitcoin or Ethereum or other crypto assets, or in real estate or things like that, alternative investments. So that is an important thing that has happened. Third important thing that has happened is when you apply for a loan like a mortgage, right? Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac has guidelines, and in those guidelines they basically tell the banks like what is considered a legitimate asset and all of that stuff, right? As a reserve, right? And as a collateral. Now they're saying the Trump administration have asked them, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, to consider crypto as a reserve for mortgages as well. Earlier, banks were discounting crypto. They were not even like considering crypto as part of your net worth, right? But now they're going to at least consider partially your crypto assets as well. Now, why I say partially? That means, let's say you have 100,000 worth of Bitcoin. They might come up and say that we'll consider 50% of that. So only 50,000 will be considered as your reserve, right? I don't know what the percentage is going to be, right? They'll issue those guidelines probably this year, and then we'll know exactly what the percentage is. But it is pretty sure now that guidelines about that are coming within a year. This is a very, very important change, and I'll talk about that as well. And a third important thing is they have allowed banks to be intermediaries in a crypto transaction, right? And the banks don't have to hold crypto themselves, but they can be the processor in between. They can have their own ledger that they can, mine, and so they can be the intermediary essentially. I don't understand that fully deeply, but what I know is that banks have been now allowed to become intermediaries in a crypto transaction without holding crypto. Right. So these are the four interesting things that Trump administration did last year. Now, what are the consequences of all of this, right? So first important consequences, imagine those 401k dollars, right? There are trillions of dollars in 401ks and IRAs, right? All of that money now becomes available for crypto as well as real estate, right? That means all those investors will slowly start investing using that money into crypto and real estate, right? It's not going to happen this year, it's not going to happen next year, but it will start happening slowly over the years. And then that means these assets have been democratized in a way. They were always democratized, but they were not allowed in the retirement space, right? Now they're allowed in retirement space as well. And that means more funds can be invested in these assets. And that means these assets might appreciate because the demand for these assets might go up. Very, very important consequence. Again, long-term consequence, not a short-term consequence. You won't see that in a year or two, but you will see that over 5 or 10 years horizon. Second important thing is the legitimization of crypto in general, right? Because they have stable coins now, so the crypto transactions will increase, right? You might be able to pay to your real estate transaction using stable coin instead of using instead of wiring the money to the escrow in the old way, right? That might go away. And so if this is Sunday or Saturday, you had to wait till the banks open. That may not be the case anymore, right? You might be able to wire money at, I don't know, 11 p.m. on any day, and it will reach the other side very next minute. I don't know how many seconds is required for that transaction, but you don't have to worry about that wiring the money. Important consequence, right? And overall, right, stable coin based economy will grow, correct? Stable coins will become legitimate currency. You might be able to just pay stable coin to for your coffee eventually, right? Again, long term, not now. So just stable coin will spread everywhere potentially, right? So these are the important consequences, right? And as a result of this, what's going to happen is I think crypto assets are also going to appreciate significantly. Real estate will also appreciate, but crypto assets will appreciate significantly. And that means buying crypto assets now would be a good thing for you to do, and holding them for about 10 years is again a good thing to do, right? And how they are related to real estate? Again, very simple, right? You might be doing stablecoin based transactions in real estate. Again, there might be tokenization of real estate. Like as all of this ecosystem grows, right? There might be smart contracts instead of escrow that are coming in, right? All of that crypto technology, not just a currency, but the technology behind crypto will also become legitimized as the currency itself becomes legitimized, right? And that will change the face of real estate eventually, right? The transactions will become much quicker, right? So that's it. I mean, there is a much more interesting information like this on our website, oldmoneycapital.com. We have a fund offering right now. So if you are interested in it, please go to our website, click on a request a call button, okay, and talk to us. We will explain what the fund is. Is it 509c3, right? That means you need to be an accredited investor. But if you don't want to participate, that's fine. If you just want to understand how multifamily syndication works, then that's a good reason to talk to us as well, right? There is no harm in learning new things, right? Yeah, our Instagram handle is Old Money Capital 123, and our LinkedIn page is Old Money Capital. Thank you very much for listening to me.